You ever work for someone so toxic, so unbearable, that just being in the same room as them felt like your soul was being crushed? I did, for 6 long years. But when I finally walked away, I left behind a little gift, one that still haunts them to this very day. Let's just say, revenge sometimes sparkles brighter than justice itself. If you've ever dreamed of serving justice to someone who made your life miserable, hit that like button right now, because today's story is one of the pettiest, yet most satisfying revenge tales you'll ever hear. Subscribe for more stories like this, and let's dive in. I didn't always think of myself as a vengeful person. In fact, for most of my adult life, I bent over backwards to avoid conflict. But 6 years of working under one particular boss, well, let's just say they tested me in ways I didn't know I could be tested. It wasn't the job itself. I loved the work. It was creative, challenging, and gave me a sense of purpose. I genuinely wanted to be there. But my boss? They were the kind of person who could take a beautiful sunrise and somehow make it feel like a thunderstorm. Imagine walking into work every morning with this pit in your stomach, already bracing yourself for the sighs, the passive-aggressive comments, the thinly veiled insults. They didn't scream or throw things. No, that would have been too obvious. Instead, it was death by 1,000 cuts. Condescension disguised as advice. Micromanagement that made me feel like a child. Guilt tripping that left me questioning my own worth. And the cherry on top? They were masters of manipulation, smiling in your face, then tearing you to shreds the second you left the room. I needed that job, though. My financial stability depended on it. So I learned to endure, to plaster on a fake smile, swallow my pride, and push through. But inside, every day chipped away at me. I wasn't just losing sleep. I was losing myself. And yet, ironically, I became one of the most trusted employees there. One of the senior staff, as they like to call it. Which really meant more work, more responsibility, and barely any increase in pay. But hey, in their mind, I should have been grateful. I could tell you countless stories, like the time they berated me in front of a client for something that wasn't even my fault, or the time they forced me to work late on my birthday because the company comes first, or the way they spread gossip about employees just to keep us divided. It was textbook toxic management. But here's the thing about toxic people. Eventually, they push you too far. For me, that breaking point came after one particularly brutal week. I remember driving home late at night, gripping the steering wheel. So tight, my knuckles turned white, thinking, if I don't leave soon, I won't have anything left of myself to salvage. So I did it. I resigned. Oh, they weren't happy about it. Not at all. I could see it in their eyes. That flicker of annoyance, that sense of betrayal. Because how dare I walk away after everything they'd done for me? But I was done. I wasn't going to let them keep stealing pieces of me. Now here's the thing. I wasn't planning some grand revenge. I knew this boss. If I tried to take legal action or make a scene, they'd find a way to drag me through the mud. They'd done it before to others. And frankly, I didn't have the energy for a war. But I did want something. Some small way to remind them that they didn't get away with everything. That I wasn't leaving empty-handed. And that's when the idea hit me. The perfect, petty revenge. On my last day, I bought a thank you card. The kind of thing you'd give a mentor when you were genuinely grateful. It was almost poetic, because inside, my thanks were anything but genuine. I scribbled down the usual cliches. Thank you for the opportunity. I've learned so much. Wishing you and the business all the best moving forward. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's where the brilliance came in. The card itself. This wasn't just any card. Oh no. This was the glitteriest card money could buy. I'm talking about that ultra-fine, sand-like glitter that sticks to your fingers, your clothes, your carpet, your soul. Once it's in your life, it never truly leaves. Glitter is forever. They don't call it decorative herpes for nothing. I made sure the card was loaded with it. The front design, pure glitter. The inside, residual glitter stuck to every crease. Just touching it left a shimmer behind. And the best part? It spreads. One touch, and suddenly your desk, your chair, your hair, everything sparkles. On my final day, the boss wasn't even there. Classic. So I left it on their desk, said my goodbyes to my coworkers, who, honestly, I loved and genuinely missed, and walked out with the sweetest, pettiest satisfaction bubbling inside me. I didn't need to see their reaction. I could picture it perfectly. The frown when they realized their office was sparkling. The sigh as they brushed their hand against the card, only to discover glitter on their palm, then their sleeve, then their face. The slow, maddening realization that no matter how hard they cleaned, it would keep showing up. And you know what? I was right. 2 years later, I caught up with a former coworker, and guess what they told me? That glitter is still being found around the office, in drawers, on chairs, on random papers. My little parting gift had become a permanent resident, and every time that boss catches a sparkle on their desk or finds a shimmer on their clothes, they remember me, the employee they underestimated, the one they thought they broke. But instead, I left them with something they could never escape. So no, I didn't sue them. I didn't scream or make a scene or burn the place down. My revenge was quieter, petty, almost childlike. But that's what made it perfect. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't about destroying someone, it's about leaving behind a tiny glittering reminder that you existed, and that they never truly won. Sometimes, justice doesn't come in courtrooms or grand gestures. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a sparkling nuisance, something that reminds toxic people they can't erase the damage they've caused. And, for me, knowing that my old boss is still haunted by glitter, well, that's enough. If this story made you smile, smash that like button. It really helps out. And I want to know, what's the pettiest but most satisfying revenge you've ever pulled off? Drop your story in the comments, and maybe it'll be featured in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove karma always finds a way.